Hi, Megan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, one of my favorite things about this movie is that Dave Franco makes a joke about Twilight, meaning that Twilight exists in this universe with vampires. So, I wanted to know what would your character's jump reaction be to seeing vampires? Like, what's the first franchise that they would like go, this is just like this vampire?
Oh my goodness. Ooh. Would my character Jocelyn say?
Yes.
Or
Or you, either one, whatever your heart says right now.
I would say like I would say that like Bud is like the blue collar blade without the
Yeah.
suit, you know? But he's like badass and he uses his actual body and physicality and like fighting and his knowledge to defeat these things. So yeah, that's what I would say right now.
When it's really cool kind of seeing how Jocelyn plays into the overall storyline because her relationship doesn't fall apart because of anything negative. It falls apart because he's not being truthful about what he's doing with his life. And I
Yes.
love the love that you can tell that those two characters still have for each other, even though that their relationship is kind of gone.
Mhm.
I just wanted to know what was kind of your process of working with Jamie and building that kind of relationship that comes across so well on screen.
Well, that was the big thing is that I wanted, and this is, me and JB both knew that we wanted to show that they still very much love each other. And like you said, they're not together because he hasn't been honest. And I think that, you learn as the film goes on, in a lot of ways, all you have to do is be honest and you kind of really see where a person stands. And so it was really about how do we make them both loving parents who are really just trying to do what's best for their little one, who love each other and are both nurturing in their different ways. And then, when they come together, what would that dynamic be like? When they approach something as a team, how much better is it for the both of them? And so it really was us just playing and figuring out these characters. And then also, with Zion, just playing and figuring out like what's the dynamic between father and daughter and mother and daughter. And it was fun.
When obviously daughters and their parents are a big theme throughout this movie, and while
Yeah.
it is a horror comedy, it is also sad when you look at the fact that the reason this vampire wants to hunt them is because her daughter is dead.
Yeah.
And so with a movie like this that does have these outlandish moments where Snoop Dogg climbs out of the gutter at the end of the movie with his cowboy hat intact, but also those more serious tones. Is that something you kind of look for in your work? Just something that has all these different elements you can kind of play with when you're part of it?
Yeah, in general, I like things where I get to do more things than one at a time. With this particularly, the draw for me was, I'm a complete 90s kid, so I love the vampire space. I also, was like kind of at a point in my life where I was getting ready to turn 40, and I love the idea of women being badass at any age. And like, taking care of themselves, loving themselves, like physically being able to just do shit, even though you might be really scared and you might want to
Mhm.
be the damsel in distress, like pushing through and having courage and finding the balance of your femininity and being honest, but also being like, no, but like I can handle this. I'll be okay. And so finding that those kind of like different things and different colors and textures and stuff was exciting for me and is exciting for me. And then also being able to do some of the action and being able to work with Jamie and JJ and like this cast, everything about this for me was like completely appealing. I only wish that I had more action. So
In the sequel, she'll have more action. But for a final question, I always like to ask, what do you hope audiences take away when they get to watch Day Shift?
I think that I hope that they get feelings of nostalgia in the best way, and then in the same moment feel like they're getting such a breath of fresh air, especially in these times. We've had a rough last couple years, and a lot of vampire movies can be dark, and this is it gives you what you want, what you hope for, and what you expect, but it also gives you like a lightness to it and a fun, and it allows you to like be surprised and scream a little bit, but also like laugh a lot. And so I think that I really just want audiences to take all of that away and just feel like they were completely served, you know?
Yeah, and I think they will. I can't wait for the sequel where you're a vampire hunter as well.
Look, from your lips to God ears, we'll see.
Thank you so much for talking with me today.
You're welcome.
Bye.